Come on, Don, stand here. He's not, we're not giving him an award yet. You can relax over here, Jack. Okay. A member of the class of 1948, Don graduated from McKendree with degrees in religion and philosophy. He earned a master's in divinity degree from Garrett-Evangelical Theological Seminary in 1951, and McKendree was pleased to bestow an honorary degree of divinity on Don in 1970. Don is a proud World War II veteran serving in the Army from 1943 to 1946. 1943. Would you raise your hand if you were born in 1943? I mean, there can't be too many of us here tonight. He was serving in the Army when we were born. Following his service to his country, he spent 43 years in service to the United Methodist Church. For 18 years, he pastored churches in the Southern Illinois Conference. He then served in a number of administrative leadership positions within the church for 25 years, including as superintendent for a total of 12 years in 2 different districts. He also served as the executive secretary for the Board of Education for the Southern Illinois Conference and as assistant to the bishop, in addition to a number of other posts and United Methodist Church involvements. He retired in 1994. Don's long career in the church and his relationship to McKendree come quite naturally. He comes from a long line of Methodist ministers and an even longer line of family members who have attended McKendree. 22 members of Don's family, spanning 4 generations, have been members of the McKendree community. Don's granddaughter, Sadie, is continuing that legacy as a current McKendree Junior. That family connection to the university and the church has played such an important role in the family's history that in 2005, Don was instrumental in establishing a special endowed scholarship in McKendree, the Cecil C. and Agnes C. Lowe Scholarship, given in memory of his parents. This gift is in addition to the many gifts to the university and decades-long membership in the William McKendree Society. His love for the university also took the form of volunteer leadership. A member of the McKendree University Board of Trustees for over 30 years, Don's dedication to advancing this university has been unwavering. Don was a long-serving member of the Church Relations Committee, serving as the chair. He was a member of the Executive Committee for over 12 years, serving as the board's secretary. Don was granted emeritus status on the Board of Trustees in 2009. In addition to the honor he receives tonight, Don was also awarded the Loyal Service Award in 1987 for his service to his alma mater. All of Don's accomplishments have been supported by his wife of 61 years, interestingly enough, also named Dawn, D-A-W-N. Together they have been wonderful supporters of McKendree, and we thank her as well for sharing him so fully with us. Don's commitment to McKendree is clear, his dedication to the church admirable, and his family's legacy at McKendree truly remarkable. It is my distinct honor, and I'm thrilled to be able to do this. I cannot tell you how happy this makes this president. It is my honor to present the Peter Akers Award to Don Lowe and to thank him for the difference he and 4 generations of his family have made and are still making in the life of McKendree University. Please join me in congratulating the Reverend Dr. Don Lowe, the 2012 Akers Award recipient.
compared to the last of these that we attended, how well we're keeping on schedule. I've never heard a better speech than delivered by our president, and that one I could have listened to that all night. He's getting better all the time.
We're taking back the Akers Award.
I thank you, committee. I thank you, everyone. I don't know why I'm here. I thank especially my family representatives, of whom are at table 8. I wouldn't be here, of course, without them and those of that family. But I have a special place in my heart for the McKendree family. I've prayed and worked and I haven't dreamed deeply enough, I guess, to encompass the kind of product that has been on display tonight before you all. So wonderful a group to represent this body, because they are representative of you, and as the coach said, it's not just those that play the game out front, starting team, but all of those in back. So thank you all, and I'm going to now go into my 2-minute speech, which will be before me in a form that I'd be willing to run on. So, like the Colonel said earlier, thank you from the bottom of my heart for this high honor. To have been considered for it has to be one of the greatest shocks of my life. It really was. It is a risky trick to play on a man my age. On behalf of my family past as well as the present, I humbly offer my profound gratitude. There's a lot of purple in the family bloodstream. Carry on, Sadie. I joined the Board of Trustees, and this may be a little departure from the other speeches that have been given. It comes from a little different perspective. I joined the Board of Trustees at the beginning of Dr. Tenbrink's tenure. He carefully and we thought methodically helped to establish the college on a solid basis in the various areas of the school's life and outreach. And then a prevailing westerly wind brought us some fresh air from the coast. Through the grace of God, the commitment and vision of Jim Dennis, McKendree has attained to a grandeur and a greatness few of us could have ever imagined, especially back in some of those later years. I feel so very, very privileged to have been a part of this success story during 30 years. To dwell on what it has meant to me could bring tears to my eyes, and I do not choose to go there. Instead, I want to pay tribute to the great board chairman with whom I have served, and to the committees, the committee chairs, and all the movers and shakers who, as volunteers brought up before, have been instrumental in moving our university along its pathway to greatness. I won't flub it up by trying to name names, but you know who you are and who they are. And in the 2 final minutes of my speech, I will lift up with special respect the personhood of Peter Akers. In an earlier tenure to the 30 mentioned, I was a member of the McKendree board when Mr. Akers served as its chairman. That fellowship was in many ways a bit more personal and intense. Mounts would use different terminology and others would use other terminology than that. But that fellowship was in many ways a bit more personal and intense as we dealt more with maintenance and survival issues. We are eternally indebted to Peter Akers and so many like him who have steered our beloved alma mater through the thick and through the thin, and I've experienced the thin. I feel so honored to receive an award that bears Peter Akers' name. Amen. Amen.